Welcome to Hollywood Deli. I'm your host, Blue. So listen, we are going to talk about some Sister Wives clips that I didn't see. I stopped watching the show. It was like watching paint dry, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So in this clip that we're going to listen to, listen, I put myself in the center because listen, I am the fourth sister wife. No, 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 the fifth sister wife. I'm the fifth sister wife. I'm a part of this. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's listen to Mary talk about her marriage to Kody.
Me are just like, really? Why did you not get the clue?
Yeah, Mary.
I got the clue. I got the message that he was giving. I was chalking it up to, you know, the fact that he was trying to figure things out. And a lot of times, really nasty things spew out of his mouth when he doesn't mean that.
That's how you know that Mary is really stunted emotionally and developmentally because and you know what? Also I can't say this without insinuating that I believe that Mary grew up in a very abusive home and because of this she thought what he was giving was normal. And she didn't realize that she was being emotionally abused. And a lot of I think the reason why Mary stayed was because she was punishing herself because she had made mistakes and she really beat up herself. Hence the catfish. She really would. She knew she was wrong for being sneaky and having a emotional affair with this person. And instead of just admitting that look, I was lonely. I did have an emotional affair with this person but I wasn't getting what I needed in my marriage. She went and beat herself up. She hid in her home and waited for Kody to acknowledge her. And she shamed herself into a corner with that catfishing because she wanted to leave. She knew that this relationship was not good and she wanted to leave, hence the catfishing. But instead of admitting to herself and everybody else that she wanted to leave. She keeps trying to go on this. I never was leaving. I wasn't going to leave. Then, girl, what was the banana peel in the mouth about? What was the confessing your love to this catfish about? Like, come on, like she needs to come clean and just be honest. And it's okay because he melted down the ring, forced you to divorce him, we understand. The public will understand, but she doesn't want to sit in that. I don't know why she doesn't want to sit in it because it's her truth and she doesn't want to admit her truth. All right, let's go back to it.
Holy shit. And also, I know I
Right.
wasn't the easiest to live with. You know what I mean? And I get that. I wasn't saying it because I was mad at the time. I was saying it because I was mad enough to tell the truth. And he doubled down. Looking back on the marriage, I was like, we should have divorced here. We should have divorced here. We should have divorced here. But I didn't believe in divorce.
Bullshit. You believed in divorce. Okay, Cody, I'm calling bullshit. You believed in divorce. You didn't believe in giving up this money, this woman's income. Because you divorced her to marry Robin. So this whole I don't believe in divorce. He's trying to hide behind a faith that he doesn't even believe in. He stopped believing as soon as that woman came into that family. He was already thinking about leaving that religion probably prior to Robin coming in. He probably was getting tired of the hustle and bustle of all these kids. It's overwhelming. It is. And all these different personalities and women. It's overwhelming. So I wish he would just stop lying about the fact that it was the money, the financial security. She provided financial security. Having her income, having Janelle's income, having Christine's income, provided him and Robin financial security. This man has not worked in years, but these women have. They've had all multiple of businesses and jobs that they were doing and he sat back like the pimp that he is. He pimped these women. I don't care what nobody says. He never, in my opinion, he never fully believed in this religion. He be, he saw an opportunity, and his greedy wife that I'm sitting on, she brought it to his attention even more. Like, look, we could really live off these women, and that's what they did. That's exactly what these two did.
How could you say you've been really horrible? I don't understand that at all. I'm really struggling with that. I have not been nice all the time.
That doesn't matter.
Okay, and I get that. No, nobody is perfect. And I get that. And I can't force our relationship.
To me, I'm like, eh.
I would say it does matter because she did abuse some children, verbally and emotionally. So it does matter, but I don't think he gives a damn about that. It was all more about how she treated him, and that's all he cares about. Because those kids that she verbally abused, he doesn't care about them. He doesn't even have a relationship with them. So it wasn't about the kids. It was about him and how she treated him. And I could believe Mary was nasty, and they said she was nasty.
Do is look in the mirror, figure out where I can improve and be a better person and just make the rest of my life as good as it could be. And I tried to.
And here's the thing of that, and let Mary's situation be a cautionary tale for women, men, whoever. Abusers will wait for an opportunity for you to make a mistake, even though they make a million mistakes throughout the relationship and you don't call them out on it. They will hold on to those mistakes that you made and make it seem like the whole relationship, the reason why it's bad is because solely because of you, which is far from the truth. The truth is a relationship is 50-50 and each one of you brings something in it. So if she had the awareness of what a healthy relationship looked like, she would expect him to improve too and not just shoulder all the weight of the relationship on herself. But that's that religion. That religion makes these women think that the men are gods and perfect and that the women are the problem and that them having jealousy is a problem and that they need to fix themselves. And that's even what Mary would tell Christine. When Christine would come to her about her problems with Kody, she would tell Christine she needs to improve what she's doing. Not not Kody and you need to work together and improve your relationship. Just she needs to improve. And I think that also caused a lot of risk between her and Christine.
Do that with, marriage, but that's really hurtful, though. It was very hurtful.
He's a POS.
He told me things that I needed to do in order for him to be willing to work on a relationship with me.
Drop the list.
Is I want to be in a relationship that works and is good. And maybe if you want a roadmap to get that, we start with some things that bother.
Roadmap to get that. So essentially, I'm going to sing you on a wild goose hunt and make you believe that there's a chance of reconciliation when I knew I would never look at you the same and I had no motivation or interest in freaking reconciling with you. He played her. He did a classic one-on-one of what parents do to kids, where they will tell them to do certain things just to get them out the way. Sometimes you do that as a parent. You're like, look, just go over there and do this or whatever. And that's exactly what he did to Mary. He wanted her out the way. And Mary just didn't have the self esteem enough to be like, you know what, I deserve better than this. I'm going to move on. And so he knew that she didn't have the self esteem. And then when that catfishing happened, he um, really kneeled in on her. And that was the nail in the coffin that he needed. And that's why I feel like him and Robin set that up because they were too close to this catfish. And I think they knew that Mary was lonely and online somehow. And I just feel like they were a part of it. I feel like they very much were a part of that catfishing and to help, control Mary. Because Mary would speak up and tell him like it is, and he didn't like that. Mary was very mouthy and had a lot of opinions and he wanted to shut her up. And so him him sitting here talking about start with the things that bother me about you. Well, what about the things that bother her about you? Like this guy really thinks he's perfect, but I can't blame him because he was surrounded by yes women who sat there and let him think that he was the perfect one in the relationship and they were the ones that needed to be fixed.
Me about you.
I can make a list about things that bother me about Kody.
Incomplete now, or not like incomplete, but it's undone.
I am not having any emotions. I am happy.
I'm happy you're happy.
I did everything that he asked of me.
Yeah.
It felt to me that he was like, well, she's done everything and I'm still not interested. Now what am I supposed to do? Oh, I guess I'll just ignore her.
Yeah.
We had hard beginnings, a hard middle, and a hard end.
And I just don't like how he acts like he wasn't a part of that and it was all her. It wasn't all her. A relationship is 50-50. He contributed to that. He pit these women against each other. And yeah, there was some flare ups and there was actually a fist fight between Janelle and Christine. I'm sorry, not Janelle, Christine. Janelle and Meri. And because of the stuff he was doing, he created a toxic environment. He would do things and he would sit back and watch, just like a person with conduct disorder. They'll do things, get people fighting amongst each other, and sit back and watch and let's see what happens. And that's exactly what he was doing. And so for him to sit back and was like, we had a hard beginning, we had a hard middle and a hard end. No, you played her. You treated her with complete utter cruelty. You sat there and told this woman that you've been horrible to me for 20 years, and so that's how long it's going to take you to make it up to me. And then he creates this list of things she had to do. And I believe that the divorce was on that damn list to marry Robin. I believe that giving him money was a part of that list. I believe that it was a bunch of inhumane things that were on that list. And this woman actually did it because she was so desperate for his love. And he knew it. And when men know that you're desperate for their love, they will make you do ridiculous things, demeaning things. And it comes a point where a person just has to say, look, I'm done. And I think Meri, even though she did all those demeaning things for him, she's able to walk away gracefully and say, look, I did everything he asked. I tried my best. And that gave her her peace. And that's why she went to the church to get the abandonment to solidify and not just solidify, but to validate how she felt in that marriage, which is abandonment. She felt abandoned. We all saw her being abandoned. The other wives can agree with that he did abandon and ignore her, and it was really trifling the way he handled her.
Ugh.
I remember a lot of the bad things. I want to remember the good times. We struggled, we had our differences, and we got divorced. I don't want to talk bad about Mary
Now you don't want to talk bad about Mary now because you done got everything you wanted from her. You got her money. You conned her into signing on for that land so that you get 70% of it, and they get 30, and have to split that. You greedy bastard. So of course you got that nice little smug smile. I don't want to talk bad about Mary because he's proud of what him and Robin did. They robbed these women. These women didn't realize that Robin and Kody created their MLM with them in their income. They didn't realize that all those MLMs they were running, Kody and Robin ran an MLM on them. And this is it's just sad. I hope they can get some of their money back. I doubt it. I really do. I hope they can get something back.
And we're out.
So what they're talking about is that so Mary cut up this blanket uh that they created of shirts of experiences that him and Mary had and they individually had, and he with his petty ass has told her he wants the stuff back. And so she went and cut up the blanket and cut his stuff and she was fine with it. But what pisses me off is that McKelty has something to say about this. She's going to try to defend her dad because she's trying to get back in his good grace. She probably needs money. Oh, well, that was petty. If she would have told him that it was a blanket, that he probably wouldn't have had her do that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, McKelty, shut your mouth. You don't know ins and out of their relationship. Mary told us that the blanket was his ideal, so he knew that these shirts and things were on his blanket. Your dad is just despicable and never takes any accountability, and you're the same person as him. So you think that Mary's the petty one. Really, your dad's the petty one. Okay? So shut your mouth. I'm so sick of McKelty and her stinking Patreon, and I wish people stop supporting it. She knows nothing. She just spills out her talks out her talks out of her ass.
I thought that if I was the best person that I could be, that it would be okay with him and now he'd accept me. You know, it took me a while to be able to get to the place where it was okay and just be like, how I feel about myself is not negotiable with you. So whatever it is that you say to me or about me,
is irrelevant.
Yes, Mary. Goddamn time. Girl. Time, Mary. What he thinks about you is irrelevant. There's other men out there. You pulled a better looking man anyway. The first man that she soft launched, and it fizzled. He was better looking, but he was a scammer. And I'm glad her fans rode out for her. But anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, make sure you leave 5-star rating, and y'all have a good night.